Hello, you wonderful people. So last week was the mid-season finale of The Flash, and Savitar presented 3 predictions he has for the future. Well, it's really hard to call them predictions because he is from the future, so for him, they're just pure fact. But what Legends of Tomorrow has taught us, as well as Jay Garrick himself in that particular episode, is that the fact is the future, there's many different possibilities, and the future isn't necessarily set in stone, so they're not really pure fact. To him they are, but they are kind of predictions. And those predictions are that one member of Team Flash will fall, one member of Team Flash will betray them, and then essentially a team member of Team Flash will kind of go through a lot of suffering. That's just me paraphrasing. Now, this particular video, I kind of want to throw out my thoughts on the second one, that being someone will betray Team Flash. Now, initially, obviously, during my whole talk about that episode, I did a not too comic book, obviously, just talking about everything that went down in the mid-season finale. At that time, my thoughts were Caitlyn. I was like, it's such an obvious choice that it would be Caitlyn, because it's like the whole vibe that Cisco had about her being Killer Frost, and the fact is of her struggling with that, who's to say like she won't turn back into Killer Frost and end up having to, end up deciding to be a bad guy and kind of working with Savitar in the future. So to me, Caitlyn's kind of a no-brainer. I even threw out the possibility like another person could be Julian, just because the whole alchemy situation, that maybe Savitar's still inside his head, or maybe he ends up working with Savitar for his own particular reasons. Maybe it's kind of going back to his original reason for looking for the stone, because he was kind of tempted by the thought of bringing his sister back to life. But subsequently, since then, I've actually thought a little bit more about this, and now I'm thinking like Caitlyn's still there as a possibility, but the main focus, like the main person I have in my mind for being the one to betray Team Flash, will actually be Cisco. Now, there are a couple things that kind of draw me to this conclusion. It's actually kind of very similar to the one reason why it would be Julian, and that's in Cisco's case is Dante. Now, as we've seen before, like he's already been tempted by the thought of kind of bringing Dante back to life because of the Philosopher's Stone. That was kind of the whole thing that was happening, and it's like, obviously Cisco backed away in that situation because it was like he knew it was a fallacy. Caitlyn was able to talk to him and tell him that, oh, it's all fake, that it's just Savitar just getting inside of his head. So for him, it was like it's an illusion, so there was no possibility to it. But if he's presented with an opportunity to save Dante, and it's very realistic and there's a good chance of it happening, who's to say he would betray Team Flash for? When you're in so much pain, you feel the need to try and fix things, and it's like, who's to say Cisco won't try to fix things himself? Barry's taken that opportunity multiple times. Granted, Barry's in a position where he knows the ramifications now, but Cisco, he's learned to a certain degree because of the whole Dominator situation, but still not to the extent that Barry has, in my opinion. Another thing that brings me to this conclusion is actually Cisco's vibe, the vibe that showed him and Caitlyn fighting. That's actually one of the reasons why I believe it was Caitlyn, because of that. It's like, oh, she's struggling with the whole fighting the evil nature of Killer Frost in her. But then I start thinking about it. What if we've actually been looking at that vibe all wrong? It's always been said that like, oh, like they were going to fight, so it's like obviously Cisco trying to stop Killer Frost. What if it's actually the other way around? What if it's Caitlyn / Killer Frost trying to stop Cisco? Because the only way she can stop Cisco, maybe in a situation like that, Barry's not around because he's dealing with something else. Maybe at the time he's dealing with Savitar, or maybe he did, but maybe Cisco's too much for Barry to handle on his own. Maybe Wally's not there to back him up or whatever, and then Caitlyn's there to back him up, but the only way she could fight against Cisco is going full-blown Killer Frost, but not necessarily fully blown Killer Frost, because maybe at that time she maintains a little bit of her own personality, that she doesn't completely shift into Killer Frost, that Caitlyn still is there, but she's just accessing more of Killer Frost's powers. That basically she's trying to stop one of her best friends from going too far down this path that he might be set on trying to save Dante. And kind of another reason why I believe it could be Cisco is because out of any of the characters, he might have the easiest time getting towards where Savitar is. You could argue, truth be told, it could be a lot of people. Because like where Savitar is now, he's kind of stuck in the Speed Force. So really the only other people that could get to him is a speedster. So you could argue it could even be Barry himself. It could even be Wally pushed to do that because of certain circumstances. But to me, you also have to think about what Cisco is capable of. He's able to make breaches to other worlds. Who's to say that he doesn't use that power to get to Savitar? Because let's not forget, his Earth 2 counterpart brought up the fact is that Cisco's a lot stronger than he thinks he is or realizes he is. And it's like, with enough time and enough effort put into it, who's to say what Cisco's really capable of? And you know, like I said, he's made breaches before, so what would be different between him making a breach from here to like the Speed Force? So that's kind of, I don't know, those are kind of my thoughts as to why I think it could be Cisco. I mean, truth be told, it's like, you know, to me, Caitlyn is the obvious choice, and maybe they will go down the obvious route, or maybe they'll kind of make a twist and make it like another character that I never really would have guessed it to be, to end up betraying him. But you know, currently my mind is set on Cisco. My question to you is, who do you think will betray Team Flash? Let me know in the comments down below. Also tell me some of your reasoning why you think it's the certain people. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree? Just let me know all that in the comments down below. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.